happiness should not be over. That is the journey of Eastern wisdom. Whatever the celebration, it should be uh, our our happiness should not be over. Why it should not be over? Because it is our essential nature. So, whatever I discuss, it is coming from the Eastern wisdom and the principles and masters have discussed. So, the best part of the journey of Eastern wisdom is that you listen and learn, then close it or make a note. And then you start thinking what, why, how, and then ask yourself, can I give examples to the mind? Can I give examples to the to my own mind in a real life situation? Take one example. Thanksgiving is a celebration. So on a particular day, you invite or you are eating with a guest and you had the immense pleasure. No doubt, we all have the immense pleasure for any celebration, whether it's a birthday celebration or any celebration, including the Thanksgiving. Now, our mind does not ask the question that can this celebration will remain forever? What is that by which I can celebrate the life, not celebrate an event? What will happen? It means all the time, in all the locations, in all the events, that I has to be present. Do you see that? That is how our masters have understood and taught us. Or the I has to be present. Okay, now see that I has to be present. Now this I gets into stress, this I gets into anxiety, this what the master is saying. No, no, no. We are not talking of this I. This I is the false I. This I is the I thought. We are talking of that I which is of the nature of pure consciousness. Okay. So we are talking of that pure I or real I or of the nature of the consciousness that has to be present bypassing the false I. What is this bypassing? Dropping the ignorance. Can you tell me, in all the celebration of events or birthday, etc., were you really happy? So now you are asking the question of is the false I always happy while celebrating the event? Ah, you have an extreme pain and you are celebrating the birthday. Okay, yes, yes. Happy birthday to you, Gabby. Yeah. I cannot move my hands, I have a lot of pain. What the master is pointing out that I am the body and the mind, so I'm celebrating anyhow. We have to live into that awareness. And the seeker has to, you have been with me for a couple of years. Now the time has come to live into that state of awareness all the time. No, I don't give a room to this false I. Where? Not outside, in my head. That is what we discuss, the prison mindset. Prison mindset. Huh? Say, for example, we are in a prison. There is a difference between the jail and the prison, but take it one, because they have a very strong locks from outside. And these strong locks from outside, coming from the conditioning of the mind, the culture, the society, and the religion, they keep us, they are holding us. You are the body, you are the mind. And then I compared with the prison mindset with the home mindset. Oh, you have the strong lock when you are inside. You have also the strong lock when you are outside. Choices with you. Strong lock means that you do not allow any movement of ignorance in the mind. You are happy here and now. Now think again. Now relate it to the 40 steps. Now relate it to the 40 steps. What is the first step? First step is studying Eastern wisdom to study myself. Study Eastern wisdom, study knowledge. Knowledge about myself. So either you can follow the journey, let me check in what way I get stress. I have anxiety, I have duality, I have conflict. Where there is an anxiety, duality, conflict, I have a movement of delusion, attachment, pride, jealousy. They have to be there. Find out. Find out. You have been thinking about a friend who insulted you yesterday. It is still in your mind. And that guy is sleeping soundly. Do you see that? Do you see that? Study Eastern wisdom. Oh, it means that my nature is to pick up. I have created a false image of praise and appreciation. And okay, we stop thinking, or we keep on thinking in the movement of a delusion and ignorance. That is the first step. Study Eastern wisdom to study myself. Don't you think that those awakened do not have that impulses? Impulses are very essential for survival. But only thing for awakened, the impulses are not used, if I say the word, not used where it has no relevance. Impulsive, reflex action, I have to say myself. Those impulses are now guided and governed by the knowledge. Studying Eastern wisdom. Now I have studied, I have understood. So now I have to take an action. I'm humiliated, insulted. Oh, you have been my friend. Is it possible that I should know why you feel this way? I want to improve myself. You said that you have given a direction to the impulses. Otherwise, what happens, you have been soulmate, now you are a soulmate, so now the time has come, enough is enough. You see those movement of the thought? It's not difficult. But yes, when I started the journey, I always feel that it is very difficult. I also felt it's a very difficult and impossible. Now, see, I'm bringing. I think I discussed about these 5 E. engagement, education, empowerment, evolution, and enlightenment. 5E. Even if you remember this, I just gave an example. Just now, I gave an example that, yes, you, somebody says sad thing, and I keep on thinking today. So I have engaged my mind into the impurity of the mind. Is it possible to engage the mind with the purity of the mind? Answer is yes. So that engagement came unconsciously, habitually, impulsively. Now I'm consciously engaging the mind. How do you consciously engage the mind? The master says Mangalacharan, mantra or Mangalacharan, whatever you want to say. I wake up in the morning, Sahana Vavatu. I waited. I said, okay, mind, do you know what it means? Sahana Bhunaktu. Do you know what it means? I asked the mind, Sahana Bhavatu, guard yourself. So when I realized that there is nothing in the mind, everything is okay. So I have already guarded. So you are remembering, you are engaging the mind in the journey of the self-discovery. Studying the Eastern wisdom, we have studied. From there we reflected, we have understood. And now I'm engaging the mind. Why? To keep studying the Eastern wisdom, to study myself. So I'm studying myself. I've got it. Sahana vavatu, sahana bhunaktu, sahana bhunaktu, relish. Captures the essence of enjoying the spiritual journey. Sahaviryam karva vahe, operational part, energy and effort. Am I clear? When I wake up in the morning, I'm relaxed and calm. Yes, I have to operate. Then W means the wisdom. Tejasvina vadhitamastu ma vidvisha vahi. Mind says, no, that guy or this guy or some kind of a disliking. It will come because since birth we have lived this way. So I have to get rid of it. It is not that when you are facing a real life situation, there we have trillions of impressions, we cannot face it. Definitely we will be upset. But if I'm doing this Mangala Charan, engaging the mind every day, so the time comes, now the mind will remain engaged in this Mangala Charan, so you are free. Om Shanti Shanti. So the moment you remember Shanti to the external world where we face relations, people, personal life, professional life, social life. Second, Shanti to the unknown world. That is what I am exploring. And third, that Shanti is my essential. Just say every day, ask yourself, is peace my essential nature? Am I at peace or not? If not, start thinking, oh, it's ignorance, it's a delusion, it's a foolishness. So, intellect, you are using the intellect to engage the mind to move from the impurity to purity. And every day you are doing it, the time comes, what happens? So every day in the morning you are celebrating your life. Oh yeah, Stephen was saying Thanksgiving. Thanks God it has gone. No, next year it will come again. Don't worry. But if we can start celebrating the Thanksgiving every day, do you see that? Now you see that first we discussed about this studying Eastern wisdom to study yourself. And I told you that you have to listen. After listening, you just stop and then start asking the question: what, why, where, when. Celebrating an event, celebrating the life. What is the difference between the two? And when you start reflecting, asking the question, conclusion will be the same as the masters have arrived at. Celebrating an event outside, I have to arrange so many things. Celebrating the life where I am celebrating. Are you understanding that? Think of it. I am celebrating. I'm celebrating Thanksgiving. You still say the same thing. But internally, I'm celebrating my life. Through Thanksgiving, I'm celebrating my life through birthday. I'm celebrating my life buying a new car. So the outer world is secondary. Primary is the I am. And that I am is always in celebration. What I said. The second step is already done. I'm giving you a very pragmatic approach. Second step is already done. Second step is karma yoga. Master does not say, oh, why should I celebrate Thanksgiving and birthday? Some people, I'm a spiritual guy. No, you are a non-spiritual guy. Whatever the situation, event is there in the world outside at this moment, let me celebrate while passing on this knowledge. Is there any problem? See that. What it demands a little bit of higher level of awareness, bypassing all the movements of the thoughts and the mind, and you are celebrating. The time will come, you will also celebrate extracting your tooth. That is how our masters, have laid down. Let us extraction. Yeah, it will prevent the infection further. So you are enjoying everyone. I'm just giving you, a very pragmatic approach. So now, when you see the two steps are done. What the two steps, right, proper, and the good action. Take an example of same, tooth infection, extraction. Yeah, right, proper, and good action is done. Not relating to myself. Clear? Now, the greatest worry and the problem is this I-ness, the false I. How dare you say this? I am stressed. I'm into anxiety. I did not have a good sleep yesterday. I like this. You see that. So now I start asking myself that am I really the doer of any action in the world? Or it is simply the existence? So you are moving deeper. You rise in awareness now. Hands are moving because of the energy. Body, I'm not the body, I know it. I'm not the mind, I know it. I'm not the content of the mind, I know it. But then who is the speaker? Let the existence take the responsibility. I can bet you, when you have the third step, is implemented in your life, I can bet you. What bet you? That you have never spoken anywhere in a gathering of 500 people, you will stand up and speak. Because I-ness is not there. You have given responsibility to the existence. Anywhere. Okay, you're standing in the podium. So, you did it to gather the thoughts in your mind before you speak, and you start speaking. Possible. The master is pointing existence is the doer and the enjoyer. No. It is the tongue, that tastes the food. Okay. But the existence has given you these taste buds. Did you create it? Did you create the faculty of seeing, hearing? Very logical. Simple. Sometimes they work and sometimes they don't work. This body is 66 years old, so obviously I'm reminding you have to also think in this way. Aging process, old car, old refrigerator. Now there is a 5G internet or 5 that gives you the ability to work on the smartphone. And if you use 1G or 2G, what will happen? You see the aging process. So in that aging process, understand this. In that aging process, that I, the real I, is not changing at all. So you are still in the mood of celebration. You are still in the state of that happiness, joy, love. And why? Because existence contains the joy and the happiness. Why should I worry? Master gives another wonderful logic. I always loved it. I'm just going to say. No, it's natural for me, I inherited my anger and hesitated. Really? It is natural. Natural means what? It comes from the nature. Means what? And then I find myself incapable of changing that, what is natural. Isn't it? Clear? Is birth natural? Is growth natural? Is childhood natural? Is youth natural? Is old age natural? Last point. Is death natural? Why to worry? Why? Why you're worrying? Unnecessary. So what makes me worry? I'm holding on. My mind is holding on. No, at least, I have hundreds of excuses. If I had $1 billion, maybe that not these masters, including Einstein, and they died. Maybe I can save my body. So you are becoming unnatural. You are becoming unnatural. One day, 100%, death is uncertain, but when it comes, it has to come. So when everything is natural, death is also unnatural. That is also natural. Fourth step. I have explained you the fourth step. Do you see that? I have to get rid of the binding desires. And because of these binding desires, I accumulate lot of sins. I have a fear of death if I have some illness. People have a fear of death when they are driving. According to the Eastern wisdom, both are the same. There is a fear of death. Fear of losing the world. Compare how many people die with a car accident as compared to the cancer. Fourth step. But because I accumulate a lot of impressions in my mind because of these fear and anxiety and delusion and ignorance, it creates an unfavorable condition in your life. Oh, your truth did not create an unfavorable condition. I told you it is 66 years old. I've been using it for at least 65 years. So it has to work that way sooner or later. There was a swelling, so that's why, I did not shave my beard. It is hiding. Otherwise, you will point out what happened to you. Nothing happened, come on. Nothing happened to me. Whatever has happened, practical, very practical, pragmatic approach applied in life. It is natural. How much I can prevent, let me apply that. Think. That is why I have said you Mangalacharan and mantra. Then listening and learning LL. Second principle. Third is contemplation and reflection CR. Just remember LL, CR. And after CR, DA. No, P. Practice and experience the change. You are practiced and you experience the change. If you don't experience the change, repeat it whenever you have a time. And the last word is DA, daily analysis. How many times I was in anxiety and duality and a conflict, means how many times the false I was exerting the pressure, preventing me to celebrate Thanksgiving today also. Do you see that? That is how, now just think and just imagine that how these 5 steps helps you to live into that, can I say choiceless awareness? Answer is yes. In the moment of self-absorption, yes. I'm totally self-absorbed, looking for that real I, the pure consciousness, instead of the false I, which is attached with these 6 neighbors and causing me the problem. And the ultimate result of the problem is that I accumulate the sins all the time. Accumulate the sins. Sins means I accumulate the impurities of my mind. How it works, it creates an unfavorable situation. Hey, how are you, Stephen? Stephen says, no, I'm upset, I don't want to talk to you. Maybe very important talk. But because of the unfavorable situation in the mind, I'm not talking. See that? Very practical 5 step. And the rest 3 steps is just to define, redefine, and shine. Why? Because your mind becomes subtle and subtler. Again, ask the question, why you want to make your mind subtle and subtler? Opposite of subtle, we normally use in India, the word is gross, but make it physical. The greater you have a physical perception or the impression of a physical perception by which you are thinking, speaking, and acting in the world, the greater the unfavorable conditions in your life because you are physically perceiving. You are not looking into the cause and effect. The subtler it is, you are looking into the cause and effect. Subtler the perception, higher the level of awareness. Grosser the perception, lower the level of your perception. You are my son. How dare you say that? Subtler level of perception. Son is just a label. Okay. Son, now you have grown old, mature, so you have a right to say this. I will talk about this later. Do you see how you communicate with the subtler perception versus the physical perception? How dare you say, don't come in front of me? He is not coming, his body is coming, and you have created a label. Get rid of it. Get rid of the label. You are free. I'm your dad. You don't have even a respect. Dad, you're not respecting yourself. That is a subtle perception. Do you see what I said? How dare you say? When the dad is saying, and what the dad is said, you're not respecting me, I'm your dad. Masters say that, come on, dad, you are not respecting yourself. You should not have said this. Are you getting it? Say yes. You communicate the same thing, the same alphabet A to Z, but it comes from the subtler mind. Subtler mind, higher level of awareness. What is higher level of awareness? You are now defined and redefined the entire existence in the world. Life changes. Once you experience that state, you will have a glimpse what it means by awakening. Why? Because every day we have been waking up with those unfavorable conditions and the challenges and the stress and the anxiety and duality and the conflict. But now I am following these steps. Now the life is so simple. You still have the same challenges outside. But now those challenges are an opportunity. Because with that higher awareness, subtler level of mind, you are able to find a solution without accumulating the sense. Life changes, your behavior changes, attitude changes, and when behavior and attitude changes, personality changes. When the personality changes, your personal, professional, and social life changes. And when they change, obviously you are dropping those past impressions and anxiety and duality and a conflict. The last four step clear. It is all about entering into the subtler domain of your awareness, we can say, or the subtler it becomes, it is moving towards the choiceless awareness. It is moving towards the self absorption. Mind is absorbed inside. Mind is not obsessed with something outside. It doesn't mean that you are not doing anything. You are okay, just you're performing all your activities. Same way. This is another way to understand all these 8 steps. We'll have one more session and then we will go. We will fall. We'll go to the ninth step, or you can say another. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed. Eyes are closed, yes. place of the body, place of the body and the space all around your body. So now, because of the subtler mind, you can easily experience the space all around the body, then go back to the body again and look at the position with reference to the mind. The mind says, no, let me adjust. Adjust it and align. No issue. So subtler mind, it aligns the body, bypassing the thoughts which may disturb your body. But the physical mind constantly moves. Now you see, being comfortable, we have already understood being comfortable. Basic goal of being comfortable is moving inside, changing the direction, and at a very basic level, experience of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Do you see the difference? Purely at the physical level, do I experience the good sensation, feeling good? Yes. Feeling comfortable? Yes. Feeling steadiness? Good. Yes. At a subtler level, I am aware that now the mind is living within, even within the body. It is okay. And being carefree. So when I'm living within, then being carefree becomes very prominent. Being carefree means what? I know the mind. I know the content of the mind. I am separate from both. Oh, did I say something totally new in being carefree? Yes. That will happen to you also. You all will have a variety of expression. It cannot be, you cannot train the mind to have that. It comes because of your subtler mind, your rise in awareness. Can you imagine what is going to happen if you're looking and thinking, speaking, and acting in the world outside with that subtler mind? Just imagine. You're looking at the flow of the breath now. I already equated that flow of the breath with the third eye. You need not to physically focus at the middle of the eyebrows. You just keep on looking the flow of the breath, and the flow of the breath is equal. It is equivalent to the focus on the third eye. You're not making any effort in the stage number 1 of this meditation. So with that flow of the awareness of the flow of the breath, in the state of being carefree, experiencing sensation, comfort, and steadiness, you can easily become aware and find the separation from the neighbor number 1, that is the outer external world, or you can say the world outside your body: time, space, location, people, relationship, possessions, thought of having nothing and thought of having everything, etc., etc. All this constitutes the world outside. Is there any chance of anxiety if the world does not exist? One option: no. Is there an option for the mind to become subtle, not to be affected by the world outside? Yes. Choose the one. I will get all the luxuries of the world so that no one can disturb me, then you'll have more disturbances. Just see that clarity. Physical body. Oh, the physical, this body is all matter, five elements. The skin is like a balloon, and inside is all matter. Neighbor. It is the neighbor, not me. Third is the energy, body, energy, hunger, and thirst. I think last time I discussed something about that we have such a strong identification with the movement of the breath, with the physical body, with the reference to the word, gives me an ignorance. What is that ignorance? It gives me an ignorance that breath is life. Then the fourth neighbor is the mind. I'm not imposing anything. You have to discover. Mind. All the dualities exist there. If I'm not the mind, no duality in my life. But then I use these dualities. Fifth neighbor, the intellect and the I thought takes birth there. That I thought is the false I. It has no existence, but still I have been using it. Wherever I use, I should use it for good. And the sixth neighbor is the ignorance, and behind that, Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu. I've included one Shanti mantra also. May there be happiness for all. Why, how, where your mind contemplates, and it is clear. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace. Now you see the outer expression, the language says that let there be peace for everyone, as if I am sending peace to everyone. And that is where our masters have made this Eastern wisdom secret. Those who are seeker, they listen and learn, contemplate and reflect and realize that the master is talking about the peace is my essential nature. So it is the essential nature of everyone. So I am aware of that peace which is the essential nature of everyone. Really? Will you go into anxiety with anyone? Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. May there be completeness for all. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all, where there is peace and the joy and the sense of completeness. I just want to say we all have celebrated Thanksgiving. It is that auspiciousness which was already present within us. You had a glimpse of it. That is why you experience the happiness and the joy in Thanksgiving, not by eating turkey. Prove it, prove this statement during this, uh, during the couple of days before we meet for the next session. Now looking at, looking inside the forehead, drop gently, Shanti. And now start breathing long, deep, and the hissing into the chest. Your breathing is equal inhalation and exhalation. You expand your entire rib cage during inhalation and you contract, squeeze your rib cage during exhalation. It has nothing to do, again, I'm reminding you, it has nothing to do with what is known as Kapalbhati and Bhastrika. We have bypassed those practices. Your entire shoulder also rise up, each rib falls apart during inhalation and they come together during exhalation. Continue breathing deep, deep, long in the hissing breath. But Om Shanti continues. But sensation, comfort, and steadiness continues. I need not to repeat, you already know endurance. Used, you use endurance by the intellect. How? The intellect reminds you, what the heck you are doing mine. No, let me continue. Until the endurance becomes the joy of doing this breathing. Your breathing, your body is steady, your expansion and squeezing of the rib cage is taking place with every inhalation and exhalation. And you are removing the objections of the mind. These objections belongs to the past impression. It has made its habit. So mind has the impression. I cannot do it for a longer period. So I counter that objection by saying, if tiger is chasing you, will you say to the tiger, please take rest? I cannot run faster and save myself. So, yes, modern science says that you have to gain the perfection step by step, little by little, uh, when you go to the gym or you are doing a treadmill or you are running, they are right in their own way. So here it is totally different aspect. You have to tell the mind to break the shell of your limitations, which is possible. Continue quick, not quick, long, deep, and the hissing breath. Long, deep, in the hissing Om Shanti, steadiness in the body. You continue to feel the changes in your experience. It may be tingling, numbness. Sometimes you may have a vision in colors. Now we all have understood, yes. Oh, I have colors and visions. It may be a little deeper state, but that is all. So you don't chase those experiences, but you accept them. Continue. Now leave this breathing. Pay attention to your breath, the flow of the breath. Check if the flow of the breath is equal. Even if it is not equal, it is okay. So, in that state, look inside your heart. Visualize the triangle of any color, equilateral triangle of any color pointing upward. It's not a big deal. After the breathing, it is easy to visualize and move the mind on each side of a triangle, dropping Om Shanti at a very subtle level. And that's a non-verbal Om Shanti. You recognize the side of a triangle, you recognize Om Shanti. That is the movement. That is why I have been giving you. I'm opening up. That is why we use this triangle and moving the mind to find a sync. Sync has a great role when I use the word sync. Sync simply means that the mind is not going anywhere. That is the only purpose. And then what I say, the moment you find this thing, that is the moment you say mentally, long and deep Om, and pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Mind seemingly stops and you say Shanti, and now everything is done. No more action. Self absorption. You can also perceive the very subtle movement of the mind. The mind goes to wanted to go to a thought. Before it goes to the thought, it returns again. That's why I said define, redefine, and shine. 8 steps to enter into a deeper meditation. Knowledge plays greater role. Meditation minus knowledge, you may be doing it for 20 years. Same mantra, same practice, you build ego. But no inner change. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences and bring the hands down. Share our experiences. How are you, Steve?
And it's helping me progress in the manner of finding that enlightenment. When we talk about Thanksgiving, I'm driving in the car on the way to Thanksgiving dinner, and the thing I think about is the question that always comes up around the Thanksgiving table of what are you thankful for? And you hear the same things over and over again from everybody, including myself. And I said, okay, let's apply Eastern wisdom to this question. And the first thing that came to mind was, I want to be thankful. I'm going to be thankful for the existence. And if I say that, it's going to stir a whole bunch of questions or blank faces with a whole group of non-seekers. I said, that the question never came up, but it was something that I kept thinking about and have thought about this entire weekend, and it started going into the fact that the existence is all pervading, and Thanksgiving, a single event that is limited. So therefore, the satisfaction can only come to the false self. And if I focused on the existence, then the happiness, the peace, the satisfaction will be there always. And that's what's been sitting with me since Thursday. So, and as far as meditation today, it's just a wonderful place to be, and enjoying it more and more each day. So thank you.
Beautiful. We already have our mind, false I, had already a reservation. It does not want to break the norms and the conditioning in our life. And once you break it in couple of interactions in the world, the life starts moving smoothly. That mind, it wants to keep it. That is what I talk about, the prison mindset. It is locked from outside. How can I go? That is what this Stephen is talking about. So once you take the lead, the change comes. Beautifully said. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you very much. The takeaway for me on the lesson was just this awareness of the consciousness is static and it doesn't change. It's there, and the outside world, everything that goes on in the outside world is it's there, and it has pluses and minuses, profits and loss, happy and sadness, so whatever, all that stuff. And I think the focus for me is the mind is the conduit between those two places, and that the mind can perceive the outside world, all this turmoil, and present itself to its consciousness as bad, good, all that kind of stuff. But really, if we use the mind as a buffer or a filter to go between the two, life will be a lot easier. And that is very deep and peaceful. Thank you.
Yeah. You are pointing in a different way, and that my mind is prompting me to say something. You see, this matter and the consciousness are always together since our birth until we die. And do you see a big surprise? The consciousness cannot transform the matter continues to remain as it is. And same way, the matter has no power to alter the consciousness. But we feel it has changed. So whatever we experience it has changed is ignorance, is delusion. I believe you all are getting it. How are you, Jerry?
Sir, I'm good. Thank you. I really appreciate when you tie it into things that are happening, the Eastern wisdom into daily life. So like the tooth, and then the tooth decaying and the infection and getting rid of the tooth is a celebration.
Yeah.
So of course you didn't really want all the pain and the money but it's a celebration. The tooth is out and you're celebrating. And you celebrate it all along the way. And I think for me, that's the practice, is if I find myself not celebrating even the speed bumps and the roadblocks and the hurdles, then I need to question what's going on.
Yeah.
And then see how I can celebrate the situation, or at least bring my peace and love and calmness to a chaotic situation.
Beautiful. You rightly said. In fact, the higher principle speaks of the very existence has evolved us as a human being to recognize that existence and find out the existence is constantly in a mode of celebration. So yes, that is another way to explain that is awakening and that is realization. So yes, Jerry, from $22,000 to $2,000, and ultimately I paid until now only the $560. So I'm still celebrating. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. I like your question during the lesson about what's natural because I don't think it's natural for us to walk around in a state of anxiety and duality and conflict and delusion and depression. And so, with that, the application of shifting your focus on the mind stuff to the existence, to the consciousness, is the work that we're doing here. And with that, I had a really deep meditation today.
Yes, yes, no doubt. The very knowledge helps you to absorb deeper into the meditation. That's what I have been saying. And you are right in saying that once we have a clarity by understanding, this mind is not going anywhere. When you are into anxiety and reaction, mind, are you natural? Communicate with your own mind and then you see what happens. Why? No, this guy said me something, then what? You are inside. It is your mind, it is not his or her mind. So, what happens by regular practice and constant reflection, you have these thoughts in your mind. And then that takes the stress away. How are you, Dennis?
Thank you for the lesson. Few points I noted for myself is the celebration is what I should check my mind against, whether it wants to celebrate or not. And if it is not, then it is not in the mode of auspiciousness.
Yeah.
And if it is, then obviously the auspiciousness is there. So it's like a checkpoint. And the second checkpoint is asking myself whether what I'm doing or what I'm thinking or speaking is natural or not. Because this natural refers to, if I start thinking about it, then I refer it to the real self, because the only that is natural is the real self. And thinking in this way helps approach it. As far as my meditation, it was very peaceful and comfortable, and the mind was very much content staying inside, doing nothing and just being aware. And you mentioned that we may notice that before the thought emerges, the mind doesn't really want to pursue that thought and goes back to emptiness. And this is, I just noticed that something like that I experienced also. Thank you.
Beautiful. You have summarized in many beautiful steps. One of the things that you are self-absorbed, it doesn't mean that you are unconscious. It also doesn't mean that the thoughts will not pop up in the mind. But now the thought pops up. Before, mind get carried away. Now, mind says, okay, continue. You have a dispassionate observation. So it means you remain absorbed. You remain absorbed into it. That is the most beautiful point you picked up. So now what happens in your daily life and living? Somebody has said, that is also a thought passing onto your mind. So you continue celebrating your life, Another point that we have already discussed, that what is natural? I made it a big statement that if the childhood is natural, if youth is natural, if the old age is natural, which I don't complain, then death is also natural. Why to be fearful? Who knows? The next session, this beer guy will not be there. What is it? Natural? No, no, don't say this. Don't say this. Even if I don't say, one day I have to go. How are you, Christina?
Thank you for the teaching and the meditation. I'm sort of realizing most of my life is lived in delusion, and the reality of celebrating existence, the holidays is a good time to notice all the I have to do this, I have to do that, and realizing it's not coming from a place of celebration of the real self.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Is psychotherapy more important or Eastern wisdom?
Eastern wisdom.
No, I also had the same profession in India, counseling, but that's one has to appreciate the knowledge part. It has nothing to do with cult, dogma, religion, belief. And once we understand that, you see that it has gone very deep into your head, and I can appreciate this. Celebrating existence, I can recognize the existence is celebrating in me. The moment I recognize that is also an awakening. No living species has this ability. They don't have the choice, only we have. And that is why the Eastern wisdom is. Think in that way. How are you, Terry?
Thank you. I was in this passion, and I am the same size as the space.
Yeah.
My challenges increase, but so does my weapon.
You see, Terry, that sometime I had my throat is choked. I'm not able to speak, but that consciousness is present. That experience is present. So you are not able to express today. It doesn't mean anything. It has to do with the instrument. That inner self is already full of the joy. That matters the most.
Yeah.
So this, again, I told you, this body is natural. I'm not going to say anything. So just say, okay, this state is natural. Let me celebrate. How are you, Vaibhav?
Thank you, sir. So mind is calm, and like sitting in the practice is like that. It breaks that continuous chain of thoughts which is going around, and then using this knowledge, it gives a new perspective to see something. It's like any situation. No, I can say that why I'm worrying, I can celebrate in this situation as well.
Yeah.
And keep myself calm.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Sure. So why I have to worry, that is one thing. And second thing, there are two parts. It is prompting me. One part that you cannot get rid of it, like the physical pain, which I gave the example of extraction of the tooth. But another part of the pain is purely subjective, which causes the suffering in the mind because of insult, praise, appreciation, etc., etc. That I can easily get rid of it. So in both the cases, we can celebrate. We can celebrate. Just start telling your mind, lot of infection have gone. Pain is taking away your infection, Daddy. And once you think in this way, life undergoes a change. That is all beautiful. Thank you very much. We are progressing.
Thank you, sir. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste.